So, I tried to go from Radiant to Iron in one day. Let's get it. Game number 1 is a Radiant lobby. Radiant is EZ, as I was able to secure a clean 6k ace right at the bat. The enemies were so salty after that and surrendered, netting me the first rank up of the series. Now I am playing with Immortals, in summary, Radiants who have successfully turned on their monitors. My teammates had a team comp consisting of Killjoy, Cypher, Sage, Champa, and Shova. So an all-Sentinel roster plus one Initiator. This roster was surprisingly very good, considering my teammates weren't exactly of the highest caliber in this game. Unfortunately, despite this poggers lineup of agents, our enemies were somehow even better. Therefore, I had to teach my teammates a very powerful Valorant high elo trick. Ability spam. The constant barrage of abilities confuses the enemy, and so I narrowly clutched out a victory in this game. Ascendant is Riot Games' newest rank of their hit game Valorant, to make some Immortals feel special about themselves. But let's not kid ourselves. Ascendant was still Macho's easy. Radiant, Immortals, and Ascendants, all basically have the same skill LVL when viewed from a high elo player's perspective, such as myself. The tone key difference that separates the Radiants from the Ascendants is the latter's Iron Resolve. In tandem with the Radiants, I immediately made an ace at the start of the Ascendant game. But Ascendants will never give you up, and the game continued. And I, ever gracious to their pluck, finished the game with a nasty 80 bomb. The easiest part of the challenge is now over. I managed to escape low elo in just under 1.5 minutes. Sadly that is a bit behind time, because I was expecting to complete the entire challenge in under a minute. Nevertheless I must continue. I must admit Diamond rank, despite being a mid-elo rank, shares a decent amount of similarities with that of Ascendant. Unfortunately, despite said similarities, I struggled quite a bit in Diamond. In one particular game, I went quite a while without a single kill. But, eventually, my first kill came to pass, and from then on out it was easy pickings. Somehow, I had yet to lose a match of the hit FPS game Valorant, in this challenge. That was until I reached Platinum at least. It was here in this one fateful lobby, where I met a fellow Smurf. Moreover, this Smurf had less of a life than me, and so I promptly lost the first game of the series round. But do not fear, for I will not stop until my target of Iron in 24 hours has been reached. So I gritted my teeth and continued on toiling in blood, sweat and tears, forcing myself to sit glued to the screen in front of me, until at last Platinum rank had been vanquished. Let's go. Celebration noises. Question for you. Do you remember the Shova from way back in the challenge? From the Immortal game? If so, good for you. Here is UNFD for your troubles. Anyways, turns out this Shova player 2 is engaged in a very similar challenge to mine. Shova 2 Iron. Well, he reached out to me, and offered me $725,987 if I could win just one game as Shova. Only problem is that I've never played him in my life. But I trusted in the ways of the nutty lineups, and even managed to create some of my own lineups. How impressive. Nevertheless, in the span of just under half an hour I had mastered the Russian Initiator, and with one final spectacular flourish of the bow, my Recon Dark glided straight into enemy territory, providing valuable insights as to my adversaries' whereabouts, and consequently secured myself another S-dub. More importantly however, I was a $65,129,847 richer man than approximately half an hour ago. I guess you could say I earned gold bank while in gold rank, haha. We have now become very close to iron rank attainment. 72 hours remain on the clock, which is plenty of time, I hope, to reach the coveted rank of iron. Everything prior to this moment was the easy part. Now in higher elo I would be going up against a real human player. I knew that high elo would be a grind, but I really didn't expect it to bog me down as much as it did. In silver I kept yo-yoing back and forth, wins followed by losses. It genuinely seemed like I would not be able to meet the Challenge X deadline. 6 hours before the clock has officially run down. At this point I could only pray for a miracle. Every fiber of my being was slowly sapped of its vigor, might and tenacity. I hadn't eaten, drunk, slept, or shat since the commencement of my quest to go from Radiant to Iron in a day. 1 hour before it's all over. Well, it seems my prayer was answered. As after hard-fought battle after hard-fought battle, I had coerced silver to transmute into bronze. GG. Only half an hour left to go. You know how I thought silver was bad. Well, as it turns out, bronze is that, just amplified by a magnitude of infinity. At this point I was really beginning to question my life choices. I just wanted to wrench myself free of this challenge's godforsaken, vile grasp. This challenge had held me hostage for long enough. I so desperately yearned for the privileges I once took for granted. I had to finish this. 10 minutes remain. This was what I had feared. I was hard stuck in bronze, and the clock continued marching on. So now mostly out of options, I unfortunately decided that if I were to beat this challenge I had to play the most broken OP character in the game. I installed Phoenix in the next game, and hoped for the best. 5 minutes remain. Many players in the Valorant community had caught wind of my challenge, which meant even my own teammates turned on me, the dirty smurf. It was 9 versus 1. Many of the players in this game committed Sudoku, and many I accidentally killed in the chaos. 1 minute remains. At this point I felt like all hope was lost. But then Phoenix, Master of Fire, spontaneously combusted, meaning I had gotten the dub and ascended to the most prestigious rank of Iron. All this in 24 hours. Sheesh. Goodbye.